I believe that the single greatest misconception that people have in regard to Pokemon is that Pokemon is about these epic battles. And yes, the epic battles are definitely a nice added touch, and arm wrestling Brock for the Boulder Badge would not be nearly as satisfying, but being that I am currently reading the Pokemon Adventures manga, and it is one of my favorite manga I have ever read, at least so far, I feel like it's really given me a far deeper glance into what Pokemon is actually about. That's right, it's about the furry porn fan fictions! Nailed it! That's the video. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Now, the Pokemon manga is actually called Pokemon Adventures, not Pokemon Battles, because there's some really deep explored themes in the actual manga, and I look forward to making several more videos on this manga, being that it puts 99% of shonen anime to shame. One important difference that I'm gonna have to lay down between the Pokemon anime and manga that really helps you see the entire world in a very different light, even though this video is not primarily about the manga, it's about what Pokemon is, or rather what Pokemon's supposed to be. Yes, in the manga, the sex scenes are so much better and they even incorporate the Pokemon! Hashtag not a furry. Let's not make that joke again. In the anime, Pokemon battles are a sport, whereas in the manga, the majority of battles are necessity. To elucidate this point, in the anime, when Ash fought Lieutenant Surge, it was a Pokemon battle. When Ash fought Koga, it was a Pokemon battle. And when Ash fought Sabrina, it was a Pokemon battle. And all these battles resulted in him getting his various badges. His opponents, Team Rocket, yeah, they don't really do Pokemon battles. They do giant robots attacking that Pikachu electrocutes and they explode and fly away. Now, the manga handles both Team Rocket and the gym leaders slightly differently. In the Pokemon Adventures manga for Red, Blue, and Green, Team Rocket is an incredibly powerful mafia organization that's taking over the Kanto region. Granted, taking over the entire Kanto region is not nearly as awesome as James in the anime, which has inspired a whole bunch of interesting fetishes about getting eaten by plants. Oh, James, truly inspirational. Woo! Suck it, furries. They've become so powerful, many of the gym leaders and Elite Four are in their pocket. For example, Lieutenant Surge, Koga, and Sabrina are the triad of gym leaders that are popular faces among the Kanto populace, but also working for Team Rocket. Celadon City, which is the capital of the Kanto region, where the president stays, was attacked by Team Rocket, and they made a psychic barrier around the city that prevented entry. Red, Blue, and Green managed to get in, and they were each individually encountered by a different one of these gym leader triad that was awaiting their arrival. Red fought Lieutenant Surge in an electrified battlefield, where Lieutenant Surge wore this insulated uniform where he could not be affected by electric attacks, and that's right, he had Zapdos on his side, where he tried his utmost to electrocute Red to death, annihilating a threat. Red managed to use Razor Leaf and slice up Lieutenant Surge's uniform, causing him to get electrocuted and potentially die, we don't really know, where he stole Lieutenant Surge's badge and left. Blue fought against Koga there. Koga had his muck grab him and attempt to poison him to death until he used Pidgeot to free himself, but then Koga used, that's right, Articuno, which was a bit predicted, so Blue had his Charizard flying on the outside of the building, waiting for Articuno to show up so he can flamethrower the room and melt it preemptively. Green fought Sabrina, and it ended up this crazy psychic battle, where Sabrina is using the craziest psychic attacks to kill Green and prevent her from using her Pokemon. She even uses a slash attack, leaving a gash across Green's stomach with blood spurting out. Green's an absolutely incredible character, and I want to do a video on the girls in the Pokemon manga, because they write their female characters better than 99% of anime. And Green, who was formerly making fun of Sabrina's breast size, actually had Pokeballs on her chest in case there would come a time where she couldn't reach the ones on her waistband and send them out in the final moment, but Sabrina had Moltres and it was an epic battle. Not the point. The point is, Green had to strip to access the Pokeballs on her breasts! Damn it, that was amazing! And also, that's what I mean by necessity, okay? There's none of this pussyfooting around. I send out my first Pokemon against your first Pokemon, and they battle, and it's epic, and when one gets knocked out, we replace them. No! The way the Pokemon manga writes Pokemon battles is like a chess game. The battle system is incredible, because everyone's carrying around their 6 Pokemon or whatever, and you, the trainer, the one who's commanding your troops, being that you are the intelligent one, are the king on your side of the chessboard. If the king is captured, then you lose the fight. So, a big part of the necessary Pokemon battles in the manga is taking down the enemy trainer, winning the fight via capturing the king. So that all said and done, the words "a Pokemon battle" in the anime refers far too much to the sport of battling, which is why it took over what the anime actually is. And while I would love to talk about the epic power system of Pokemon battles that the manga has to offer, and I may do that on a future date, so feel free to subscribe, Red's adventure through Kanto, for example, gave a very different air of what Pokemon's about. The battles, as I've stated, range from the sport and having a good time to the life-threatening and sometimes national-threatening situations that he finds himself getting wrapped up in, going up against Team Rocket. The Pokemon Adventures manga follows many different characters on their various journeys, all with the idealistic sense of having a great time bonding with Pokemon, making great friends, competing in these sport-like competitions, but also using their Pokemon for the very good of society, where they are main characters in a thrilling manga by their own right. Finding new Pokemon, learning more about different Pokemon, exploring different habitats, understanding the different inhabitants of said habitats. The reason why the Pokemon Adventures manga is called Pokemon Adventure is because it's not just one point that you're supposed to be focused on. It's everything. Pokemon is an adventure. That's what it is at its heart, and that's why it has the ultimate combo of being a great game where you can catch your own Pokemon, a great manga where you could witness a true badass's adventures through the world of Pokemon you're familiar with from the game, and an anime that you can sit back and watch endless episodes of mindless drivel and Ash, who is the mentally challenged version of Red, despite the fact that there are some really heartbreaking and epic moments done by their own right. I started off this video talking about the anime, talking about the manga, not really talking about the games, but now that basically all three of these things are clear in what they are to you, it's the combination of the three that makes Pokemon what it is, at least to me, and that's how I perceive it to be to all the people that I know that love Pokemon. I've swooped in and out of the Pokemon fandom over the last several years, but it's always been alongside me since my very childhood, all those years ago, playing the original OG games. My friends in school, my brother, and it means a lot to me to this very day. The Pokemon games, the manga, and the anime are three drastically different perspectives of the world of Pokemon. The very same world, seen through these three lenses, paints a far broader picture of what Pokemon actually is. Despite the fact that Ash never won a goddamn tournament, I can think back to all of his massive epic achievements that had me cheering for him. When he beat Paul, when he beat Gary, when he won the Orange Island League, when he beat the Battle Frontier. All these moments still resonate within me. This is Ash. He's not some legendary badass warrior. He has his dreams, his sights set high. He's just traversing throughout the land, making different friends, meeting different Pokemon, introducing you to the different corners of the world in a very drawn out, episodic, endless seeming way that gives you the guise of the broadness of the Pokemon world. That every stone you turn over, you may discover something new about this world that I feel like such a big part of. The manga is extremely fast paced, and while I love that, and I love that Red beats Blue in the finals of the Pokemon League in 40 chapters, to get across how fast that freaking is, in Naruto, they just started the Chunin exams, and in One Piece, they never even met Sanji yet. 40 chapters is nothing, and they already finished the entire Indigo League. That is very fast paced. Yes, we had many episodic chapters showing us the different ins and outs of the Pokemon world. We had our Safari Zone arc, which was masterful, and how Red went in without any Pokemon. He managed to get a Nidoking pissed at him. He went off the trail. They ended up sending in search parties to find him, but he's so badass. It fully explained how he went around catching different Safari Zone Pokemon, using them to weaken and later catch stronger Safari Zone Pokemon, until he had a literal herd of Pokemon on his side. Nidokings and Parasects and Victreebells. Red's a total badass. Let's not get ourselves. And we got to see the ins and out of the Pokemon world through Red's eyes as well, but not the endlessness that the anime gave us. As a kid, I watched hundreds of freaking episodes with seemingly no end to the adventures of the Pokemon world. We got movies, every movie featuring a different legendary. I got the appeal of the endlessness of a real, genuine Pokemon world from the anime. I got the experiences of a hero, a badass legend, traveling through the Pokemon manga, and I got my own experiences in that world that I love so much, where I see the highs of Red and the endlessness of Ash, and I get to play that in the games. Remember in the original games, when you couldn't get into Saffron City, no matter which side you came, the guards would never let you pass until you found some tea and you could bribe one of the guards to let you through? Yeah, well, that's because the guards were under Team Rocket's payroll, preventing normal entry. In the anime, there was nothing this severe. It was Ash's travels through a normally kempt Pokemon world. Red had to fight Team Rocket from the inside, and the people that tried to escape were being blocked by the gym leaders that you'd formerly made friends with. You had Brock guarding the west entrance, Misty guarding the north entrance, and Eureka guarding the south entrance, preventing escape. It was this epic battle royale of Team Rocket versus the Kanto inhabitants that you've allied up with, where red, green, and blue are the aces of this team. But we couldn't have these massive dramatic climaxes in the anime. That's not what the anime was there for. The anime truly was there to give us a bright-eyed look, to help us want to see more, to help us feel like the world is as endless as the world we live in, where we could truly fall in love with the sport of catching Pokemon and getting into Pokemon battles. And the game is where we can experience it for ourselves. I feel like all three are completely valid and accurate personifications of what Pokemon is supposed to be, but seen through different perspectives. I feel like you can only really get the full Pokemon experience by experiencing all three of these things. Granted, you can love Pokemon to its entirety through only experiencing one or two, but whether it's Ash's endless adventure, Red's epic adventure, or your own personal adventure, Pokemon holds a very dear, dear place in my heart for all the good times that we've had together over the last 15 years of my life. The craze of Pokemon Go when it started, bringing Pokemon into your own everyday life, where you can catch goddamn Pidgeys everywhere just on your very own block. And if you live in Hicktown, Nowheresville, there's no Pokestops everywhere, so sorry you'll never get any Pokeballs ever or catch any Pokemon. That sucks for you. We only care about people that live in New York. I don't know, that's the impression I got. The craze died out because we realized that augmented reality is not reality, but an actuality. The thing we want most from Pokemon is for it to become reality, which it will never be yet. It's bound to happen eventually. But to go full circle, I don't think Pokemon's about the battles. I think the appeal of Pokemon is that to every single one of us, to all of you watching this video, to every Pokemon fan that hasn't watched this video, that you should totally recommend this video to, that would be dope. And to me, Pokemon is my own personal false reality. Corny as it sounds, but that's why I love it. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to subscribe for future anime or Pokemon analysis or satire content. Also check out my other stuff, because I did other stuff in the past. That would be dope. Link in the description to my Twitter. Feel free to follow me there. To my merch, feel free to pick some up, and to my Patreon. All patrons are invited to the Discord server where I hang out. And speaking of, I wanted to especially thank James Patterson, King Beat My Meat, David Anole, Negus Nogus, Burning Bush, Sage of Snake, Wilson Fletcher, Team Sparky65, The Unknown Otaku, Lazy Ronin, Girthy Worm Jin, Allison Stricker, The Wolf of Gar, JD Fincher, Cosine Pit Shifters, Elaser, Sash, The Ethan, Frisky Dingo, White Noise, Florida Man, Talon, Michael Hensley, Michael Garnett, Miriam Ramirez, Chezzy, Q, Praise Lord Dugirugameshu, Billy Thompson, Serial Flex Offender, JJ Slaybrams, The Night Brights, LJ, Elijah D. Borden, Kaiser Ruana, Crazy Beats, Divine Reigns, Teokui, Skylar Legg, Samuel Guzman, Karma, and TM Philly. I wanted to thank the Lord Tweegerank, Meezy Jeezy, Anthony Booth, Noctris13, Cream My Pancake, Alvaro D. Banuelos, Prella, Rari, MD, Adria Pica, Everest, Berry Minotaur, Emperor Misha, and Kyle the Warrior. Thanks to the Gadusop Rank Dark Element, Eduardo Flores, Rogue Robot Studios, Poozerker, Dortho Gamis, Muafak, Necro, Sunny Parks, and Maurice Luis Dreyfus. Thanks to the Shane Harden, who has Hashirama cells, Gremin and Mitochondria for being in the rank that I called Has a Bigger Dick Than Gremin. Pretty dope rank, if I do say so myself. And thanks to the man, the myth, the legend, Steve. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this video. To everyone that wants Pokemon content or not, I'm sorry, but it's an inevitability. So have yourselves a most wonderful evening, and remember to stay weird, fam.